Most people know the tradition of Sunday supper to be making time to bring people together to share each other's company over a special meal. But in my world, it's also about bringing together a talented group of dysfunctional people to transform this comedy club into grandma's house to keep this tradition alive. This dinner is about food, friends, and family, and attempting to execute a flawless dinner for 100 to hopefully serve my guests a 7-course Italian masterpiece, all while trying to have fun in the process. This is Sunday Supper. Now, if you're new to this series, buckle up, because this roller coaster ride has all the feels. And of course, to help me pull off such a feat, you've got to meet my dysfunctional band of misfits. First up, the Italia brothers, the owners of the stand, Chris Italia and Paul Italia. My brother Dave, my point man in the kitchen. And helping Dave are the stand's kitchen staff, Chef Carlos, Chef Bamba, and Chef Fausto. And then my co-host for the evening, my good friend Alexis. And of course, our special guest chef, who we will talk about in a minute. Now, my first order of business is swinging by Arthur Avenue, and I gotta stop by my DiCecco supplier to grab some pasta and the cookie tins for dessert, and then I'm off to the stand, and it takes me about 30 seconds before I'm smacked with our first blunder of the day.
Sasto,
How we doing?
your brother ordered 120 pounds of short ribs instead of 120 pieces of short ribs. You ordered $1,500 worth of short ribs.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
It's your brother right now. Let's see. Okay, so I'm not gonna say you're here. Yeah.
Not 150 pounds, it's 150 pieces.
It's 120 pounds. It says right here in the invoice.
He just told me that he got 150 pieces at $11 a pound.
Dave, this got to be fixed. We can't spend $1,400.
And just like that, the ball busting begins. And then the star of the show arrives, Chef Joe Sasto. You've seen him on hit cooking shows like Top Chef, Guy Fieri's Tournament of Champions, and he's a judge on Chop. And of course, he makes cooking videos on YouTube. And today, he's my guest chef for Sunday Supper.
You look shorter on TV.
That's what everyone says.
Now, beyond the menu staples at Sunday Supper, as guest chef, Joe's responsible for 2 courses. A roasted delicata squash with a little garlic streusel on top, and the main course, his Sasto family gravy with short ribs. We were obviously hoping for some nice dainty pieces of short rib, not gigantic dinosaur bones.
I think we initially asked for smaller, but I don't remember.
Yeah, like they're all different sizes.
Because normally I get them like,
This is the culmination of letting Dave order the short ribs, Steve. So we know now.
Welcome to my life.
Now we know Dave can't order the meat.
Now, as it turns out, Dave was not actually at fault here, but you better believe we're gonna give him a hard time anyway.
and it's unfortunate because you can't ask everybody to share this. Wait, let's pick out 120 of the smallest
pieces.
Yeah.
Fun times.
So we're gonna lean into it and just call it a short rib garnish on top. So while Joe starts sorting and seasoning the short ribs, I came to realize the stand has another big event tomorrow besides mine. How many pounds you gotta make for 280 people?
How many pounds of pancake batter?
60 pounds.
So most of the staff is prepping for this huge event tomorrow, while Joe and I start on Sunday Supper. Space right now is our enemy. First thing to prep is Joe's Sasto family gravy.
Butter, just butter, or butter and
Butter and
olive oil?
olive oil. Butter makes things better.
That's right. Who told you that?
My mom was French. More butter is more better.
That's how cultures fuse. Butter and olive oil is not very common in a ragu, but once I learned his mother was French, that's how it ends up in this dish, a French mother trying to satisfy an Italian family. And of course, a ragu or gravy needs lots of good quality tomatoes.
Did you tell your mom what you're doing this weekend?
Mom's not with us anymore. She's here in spirit.
That makes it even more special.
And it's at this moment the power of this recipe becomes real and is summed up in this segment later in the event.
If I'm doing my Sunday sauce, that's one story. Every guest chef, which we've been doing more and more, has their own stories. And so Joe brought his family's pork gravy.
I grew up with it and I hated it. I was like, Mom, can we have anything else? I don't want this again. And so when she passed, my sisters and I were trying to replicate the way she would make gravy. And what most people know is tomato sauce. There's garlic and onions in with a tomato. They're worked into it. The way my mom did it, she didn't like onions and garlic, but she enjoyed the flavor of them. So she would get a whole bunch of butter and oil and fry onions and garlic until they're brown and caramelized, then drain them out, set them aside, and continue to make the tomato sauce in that flavored oil.
That story is exactly the reason I started Sunday Supper. Context is important to me, and knowing such a thing makes the dish he made taste so much better. And it's why stories in food are important. It's a connection, and in this case, a connection to somebody who's no longer with us. So while Joe sears the short ribs, I get him set up with our beautiful Bianco di Napoli tomatoes. And the space limitations caused by these two big events tomorrow are becoming apparent.
I'm really concerned about figuring out a way to cook all the tomato sauce at once.
This is a problem I run into almost every time I do this. Cooking these big Sunday supper type recipes for 101 pot with all that meat is very difficult. It's hard to stir, the sauce could catch. This is nothing new for me, but maybe I didn't communicate that to Joe.
My brother should be here soon.
Really soaking wet.
It's a hurricane outside.
Dave's having a rough day. Between the short ribs and the rain, we need him. So we gotta try and cheer him up now.
Smile. I had a
That's going in YouTube.
Let's turn that frown upside down.
Now Chris has arrived, and I don't know what it is. Maybe it's his birthday tomorrow, but he's acting oddly giddy.
Look at that smile. I wish Dave would smile.
Are you gonna make me one of your famous grilled cheeses when we get?
Yeah, I mean, what the I want to do a pop-up. You won't let me do a pop-up.
This is not Chris's normal demeanor.
You want to do a pop-up? Do a pop-up.
We'll do a grilled cheese pop-up right out here.
Let's do it. There wasn't a lot of kitchen space or oven space. I wouldn't have chose this, but we are where we are now, which is fine.
Were you cooking the shorts in the Ragu?
Yeah. I envisioned like a big.
We have one somewhere.
That was the easy part. Now we got to figure out how to get all the sauce.
We used to have a big pot, but it's nowhere to be found.
We could start all the
big and nice one, you remember? See what you can find out there.
See if we could even find hotel pans.
Because of the big events tomorrow, even basic gear is scarce.
Hot water, and then we just boil it. We count 10 minutes, now I'm ready to go. Al dente, right?
Chris is still being a demon, taking control of my camera.
Break it?
Fausto, what do you got cooking for us tomorrow?
Surprise.
What do you got?
Focaccia.
Yeah, what else?
So Joe picks up work on his sauce again. He's on to the meat portion of his sauce. We go with using 3 or 4 pots to cook this because it's our only option.
Sausage goes in the fat, and then we get our tomato paste, all of our herbs and spices. We're gonna end with a real serious fat cap.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a flavor bomb.
So Joe gets started breaking up that sausage in all of that garlic and onion flavored butter and oil. He preps his herbs for the sauce.
Oregano.
Thyme, oregano, and chili. Oh yeah, babe.
Joe's just looking to develop some caramelization on that meat. And as you know, I used to food mill by hand all of the tomatoes for Sunday supper, but I've quickly gotten tired of that. So we're using an immersion blender today.
What a lovely sponsor.
Oh, look at that.
Tomatoes go in, seasoning goes in, and all it just needs now is to cook down.
That tastes different.
You tasting someone else's sauce?
Oh my god, because you're just in your head, you're programmed to what it tastes like.
And as it cooks down, all that fat is going to get absorbed by the tomatoes and add that amazing flavor. Chris is still causing mayhem.
You like oatmeal?
Yeah, the one drinks regular milk.
He's off the walls today. So the Stan's walk-in fridge is downstairs. And you know, it's nice to have some big, strong guys around for the heavy lifting tasks.
Yeah, Steve. I'm gonna fill up hotel pans and roast off the short ribs.
Now, the original plan was to cook the short ribs directly into the ragu, but we don't have adequate sized pots for that, so we're going to braise them in the oven in some sauce.
How you feeling?
I'm a little concerned just about timing and the amount of space we have here. Not concerned, it's not the right word.
There's always something to
Harder than I thought it would be, I guess is the better word.
So now it is getting late and we have been here a very long time. So we decided to tag team together and help bang out the prep for Joe's second dish, his delicata squash. Paul comes back and he's still going on about the short ribs.
He might take a couple $100. So we should have spent $600-700 in short ribs. We got a bill for $1,400.
Gravy's being working cannoli filling.
We need to do streusel.
And Dave's got some pretty cute handwriting.
Seriously. I can say so much, but I don't because I don't want you to cry.
These are the shenanigans I miss about working in the kitchen. So after a few hours, those short ribs are nice and tender, like butter. We can chill them down and set them in the walk-in for the night.
Look at this Good guy.
I'm gonna be here tomorrow.
I heard.
You going to Ragu? I'm trying to go to dreads. Yeah. What do you think?
You should maybe try and start shaving this little
You don't like this?
disgusting pube hair on
I'm
your
waiting to
chin.
get to here. It's not growing.
Once you turn like 19, it might grow in.
Now, it's time for us to leave, and since Carlos is on the night shift, he's always so nice enough to watch our sauce and take care of it at the end of the night. Joe and I go off, have a nice dinner down the street, and we kind of feel good up until we arrive in the stand the next day.
What is that, actual hell? What is it, Blue's Clues? He's still around?
It's a Paramount party.
Why are you booking big-ass events on the same day as Sunday supper?
You guys were supposed to be on a Sunday.
I didn't know.
Steve told me we had to switch to Saturday
So
because
my
you had an
brother
event
said-
Sunday.
No. Chris says to me, you know, a lot of industry people are in town. Probably.
Yeah.
Could we switch to Saturday? Because I want some of those people to attend the dinner. I said, we can, but it's going to be very difficult.
We walked into not knowing about it.
I mean, my staff is getting killed.
I know.
So
Fausto's about to commit murder downstairs.
It was a bad.
Space is even more limited than it was yesterday. So while the kitchen staff upstairs finishes their event and the dining room gets cleaned up, we head downstairs to take care of a few things.
What are we doing this morning?
Oh, another day, another dime. Got our Nutella cannoli filling going on here.
Is it just ricotta?
Ricotta. Rigot from our good friends at Caputo Brothers Creamery. Give it some chocolate streaks. And the nice thing about Nutella is that it's a hazelnut forward spread with just a hint of cocoa. Nutella.
I like.
Don't mix it too much.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. I like the swirl.
Yeah, don't mix it too much.
Then Joe roasts off his delicata squash.
Look at this move right here. See, you take the knife.
I know.
The things you learn working in the kitchen. Hazelnuts for our cannoli.
The roller?
Put the dipped ends in. I'm gonna go downstairs with this.
Joe, what's in the oven right now?
That's our garlic streusel, seeds, little
Panko?
panko, sugar, garlic, cinnamon.
Joe's finishing up his squash dish while Dave ices the ricotta cookies.
I cooked them at a lower temperature in that convection oven instead of 350.
Soft. The best ones you made here so far. Looks cut.
It looks cut. Might just have to break it up. Let me get a tub. Real nice mozz. The starting of some real nice mozz. Beautiful. We got our fresh curd. Time for Tantos.
Now, Tantos are a product Joe sells. They are a puffed up pasta chip. If you could imagine almost like a crunchier pork rind, that's what Tantos are. And he dusts them in various seasonings.
Do you want to see this? Come, my baby.
Wow. It's like magic. What, did it take a minute?
Less than.
What flavor is this?
This is our cacio e pepe. Cheese and peppers.
Is that DOP pecorino?
This is Parmesan with an AN.
Oh, you cheated. Ooh, it's still warm. Why does it taste like pecorino if you use Parmesan?
If the fake stuff's not too bad. Then we have the marinara and pesto.
That tastes more like a Dorito.
Pizza bugles.
Yeah. Yes.
The one thing we're missing for Joe's squash dish is some fresh sage, so I ran over to the farmer's market in Union Square
Oh, there it is.
and secured the goods. Joe will pick them off the stem, throw them in the fryer, and get them real nice and crisp, and those will act as a garnish for his squash. And then I usually serve a spicy Calabrian chili Caesar salad, but Joe had the idea to throw some black garlic in there, so in collaboration with him, my brother's just kind of blending the two together. Now I've got to open and empty all of these Royal Dansk cookie tins from my grandma's cookie tin for dessert. A tedious process, but someone's got to do it.
Well, it doesn't need, that's all I'm worried about is it needs a little acidity.
We got our Caputo Brothers. This is the provolone picante cheese. Quite nice. We're getting some pieces sliced up for our antipasti station.
Give me that piece right there.
This one has your name on it, huh?
That's good.
It's real nice.
So now it's 1 p.m. Things have finally quieted and calmed down a bit. So Joe gets a bunch of pots boiling with water and starts par cooking the pasta. We're using some nice DiCecco Mezze Rigatoni.
What do we say, 20 pounds of pasta or 25?
We said 20, but I say it's always
Cook
there's
it all?
stragglers coming in, feeding people at the end of the night. So.
Oh, try this ricotta salata, dude. These guys are legit.
Oh man.
So nice.
And while Joe works on the pasta, the cannolis start getting filled.
Tennessee Rivella might have been added just now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we added them, I think, last night.
Okay.
This is Samantha, and she's running the floor for us, and she's largely responsible for really smoothing the ship out. She's the best. And like any good Sunday supper, our event begins at 3 p.m. It's now about 2:15, so we really need to get started prepping the floor with our antipasti bar. And then the rest of the gang starts rolling in.
I can't tell if it's photo or video. You got my modeling fee though?
Let's go shopping. Big shot.
No, this is all going back. The tags are staying on it. After I'm on TV tomorrow, CBS, Syria coverage. You know.
Oh, shoot.
You know?
And you can expect some epic camera work going forward because my cameraman is finally here.
How's it going?
There he is, kid. Come on.
Round 4? Round 4? Let's do it.
Guests arrive in 30 minutes, so it's time to kick things into gear.
Hey, there he is. Give me the focaccia.
Everybody's taking picture of the focaccia.
Good job, sir.
Slice it.
Yeah. Do the nice charcuterie. He does it nice with the charcuterie.
Yeah, like that. Just like that. Right? Yeah. Just gonna lay it like this.
With his tanto set up and his mozzarella curd cut, Joe's ready to start making mozzarella.
Sorry about that.
Some fresh mozz.
It starts with the curd, added to a giant cauldron, seasoned with salt, and then begins a process of slowly adding hot water. Stirring it, stretching it, until all those curds sort of melt into one stringy mass that we call mozzarella.
Taste test.
Quality control.
The water can be a little hotter.
You need it hotter?
Yeah, I got more on the stove. I was kind of just doing this to get ahead.
So now Joe's ahead on mozzarella. So he's got some when people arrive. All the boys are banging out the charcuterie and the antipasti. And now it's 3 p.m., which means it's supper time.
You should have dried it.
We don't have the torch. I thought we had the torch. That's why.
No, it's better to dry it before you actually.
I feel moisture.
I know, but I don't want it to be. I don't want it to get set on fire. I want the smell.
If it was dry, it will catch fire and then it'll give you the smoke.
So after Dave gets his fancy time leaves burnt and smoking, guests begin to arrive. So with martini in hand, I start to mingle. While I'm greeting guests, Joe's working the mozzarella station.
You need a little bite? Get over here. There's cheese for everyone. A little mozz, a little pasta. Some mozz and pasta, my friend. Don't forget a chip. Or as my dad says, mozzarella.
Now, we don't like to call this like a dinner service. That's not fun. We're trying to cultivate more of a dinner party vibe. One where a chef you might love might be tearing mozzarella by hand and then feeding it to you directly after it's made. That to me sounds a bit more fun.
Who else needs some mutz? Oh, you're back. Yeah. You found the mutz. Little double. Oh, God. Oh, God. You got it. No one saw that. No one saw that. Only the 40 cameras around.
Yeah, thank you so much.
This is antipasti done right. Paper-thin cured meats, beautiful quality cheeses, and people all around just picking at all the goodies.
And a gut, prosciutto, galamad, and regut. You sound like my dad.
Everyone gets to their tables and gets seated for dinner.
Want to fry one?
Oh, we need some lighter.
See that?
He hit it. Look.
Forget about it.
He hit it.
That's skill right there.
Now, while we were dealing with the antipasti and greeting guests, the kitchen staff in the back was plating our Caesar salad. Romaine, spicy black garlic Caesar dressing, sesame stick breadcrumbs, and what should be Parmesan cheese on top, which to me doesn't appear to be Parmesan cheese.
Should be grated.
But you delegated that. I don't know.
What cheese is that?
Someone changed it. Fine. We'll do parm on the pasta and the ricotta on this. It's not a bad choice. Yeah.
It's not that I don't like it. It's just like to put on the menu or something different.
No one technically
Who's gonna get killed? What do I have to kill?
Someone made the executive decision.
Who made the executive decision?
Not me.
Who was this guy over here?
Oh, there you go. Again? 15 chef.
No one dies tonight.
No one dies. It's good. It's good. Black garlic.
So
One of my favorite ingredients.
Now the salads are plated and ready to go out. While that happens, Joe starts warming up the short ribs for the main course. And while the salads go out, we have to start on the following course, which is our ricotta dip.
That's done.
It just needs a
How about,
little.
let's do this.
The ricotta needs to be seasoned with Maldon. Yeah, probably a little pecorino too.
Let's do a little.
Where's your? You have Maldon?
And the Maldon on the, before you put the onions.
Here you got the Maldon, the onion.
Especially carbs.
Will
too. I
you
don't
please eat something? You keep saying that. You're
don't have
you're
time.
worrying
I was
me.
like-
You have time right now.
I passed out.
You have time right
I
now.
made the mistake of going to my girl's house while she's moving.
Now this course is designed to replicate that act of walking around grandma's kitchen, taking a piece of bread and tasting the sauce. So we usually have a little ricotta and then a little bit of the sauce to go with it with some bread. But if you can recall those onions and garlic that Joe fried in the butter and oil used for the sauce, we didn't throw those out. Instead, we're gonna use those as a topping on top of the ricotta.
No anchovy.
You put anchovies in the dressing. Who made this dressing? You did it?
Steve did, but there's anchovies in it.
Okay, just let her know that it's not gonna be the spicy black sauce.
It'd be aged balsamic and olive oil.
Aged balsamic and olive oil.
This is about the time when I head out to the dining room and take on the role as host.
Thanks again.
Cheers to you guys. Thank you so much for coming.
While the boys in the back get started on the rest of the courses. Chef Bamba finishes the plates of ricotta dip with a little bit of that Sasto gravy to give our guests a little taste of what's to come. The plates go out and then the kitchen can reset for a second before the push for the next course.
Nina, ¿quieres una grande que quieres pinga o qué quieres?
Go.
Vámonos. Soft Italian in him.
This is Charlie, Chris and Paul's father, who's always around just inspecting things.
What part of Italy is your family from?
My family from Sicily.
Sicily. My family's from Naples.
Naples?
Naples.
Yeah.
Napoletan.
Napoletan, broken Napoletan?
Napoletan.
That's nice. I like it. Napoli. Always there.
Daddy,
So what?
Napoli is not good. They're all places for real.
Why?
Yo, you cannot cross street over there.
Oh, it's dangerous.
It's very dangerous.
Come on, because you
You'll get hit with
know Italia. I'm Italian. They don't do nothing to me.
Yeah, for us, it's dangerous.
Yeah.
I was in army in Napoli. Army, no army, soldato.
The army.
Yeah, I was there.
On to one of Dave's more legendary dishes, the fried Brussels sprouts we served on our old food truck. Quartered Brussels sprouts, deep fried to this deep, beautiful green. Then tossed in agave, some salt, and a little bit of white pepper. These are salty, they're sweet, there's a little bit of bitterness, and they're crunchy. They're simply perfect. To fit them more towards our Italian meal, we garnish with a little pecorino. And we have converted hundreds of people to Brussels sprouts lovers. And if you think you're not a Brussels sprout fan, you gotta come and try these.
Yeah, but we don't have. I don't like that. I've had plenty of your famous food freak Brussels sprouts.
Brussels sprouts go out and Joe can start on reheating his squash, which will also go out with our pasta course.
Hot, 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 hot. Corner hot, hot, hot. Coming in hot, hot, hot. Hit me with the door.
I think we're good on that. That's good.
And as I'm out mingling, I'm picking up any dietary restrictions and then relaying them back to the kitchen.
One vegetarian table. You know what table it is?
Yeah.
Now we do pasta.
Ready?
So while the squash plates get assembled, Joe starts getting the pasta working, while also explaining how he wants the squash plated.
Balsamic crumbs.
Crumbs. Got it.
We have 4 trays, right?
5.
5 trays, so good.
Joe gives the approval and the squash gets plated. Some of the streusel, a little bit of cheese, the fried sage, and while those plates start heading out to the floor, Joe begins the marriage of the pasta and the pork ragu.
It's 3-4 tops, 4-3 tops, okay?
Referred to in Italy as manticare, the act of combining the sauce with the pasta. All those starches mixing with that sauce, cooked until that sauce clings to the pasta. That's a proper plate of ragu. Next, the plates get finished with, of course, our short rib garnish.
5 top.
A little Parmigiano on top, and the final plates go out.
2 top on the fly, please. Here, this is the 8.
3.
What do you need?
6, that's it.
Thank you. Thank you. I love it. Thank you.
Dessert now, right?
It's dessert now. It's gonna show the girls how to do dessert.
Since 7 o'clock in the morning, we can go home.
All that's left to do now is to prepare a beloved element of the dinner, which is my grandma's cookie tin. All hands on deck to fill these with the ricotta cookies, the rainbow cookies, and the Nutella hazelnut cannolis. These tins we give to our guests to take home, knowing we just killed them with food.
11, 12, idiot proof, 13.
And while the cookie tins head out to the guest, me, Alexis, and Joe get up on stage to discuss the meal.
The fried onions and garlic were served on top of that ragu, the ricotta cheese on the side.
Ricotta.
Growing up, when my brothers, my dad, we'd go into the kitchen, my mom was cooking, we'd be like, we're hungry, what do we eat? She would have a plate of fried onions and garlic, and that's what you would eat as a snack.
Call it gravy, or did he force you?
No, that's what my family called it, was gravy, but being...
Sauce, by the way.
No, it's
Just so
gravy.
you know.
It's gravy. It's gravy. It's gravy.
We take some fan questions.
How many grandmothers didn't have a license?
Grandma didn't have a license? That's right. Whose grandma had an Oldsmobile?
And we put a nice bow on the evening and greet everybody good night.
Did you guys have a good time with us so far?
Thank you so much. Good night.
And everything seemingly went off without a hitch. There's just one more thing left to do.
Oh, wait, what is this? What is this?
Birthday.
Shut the lights off. Pete, tell us if he's close.
Have those cookies.
I know. Is anybody looking out for him? Is he coming?
No.
I think he knows.
Let it cut the cake, and don't let it cut. Hey, give me 9. Give me 9.
Subject 2 tickets for anybody who asks.
Yeah, you gotta cut the fish. Come on.
That's it. That's it.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
It's a butcher job.
Come on, let's grab a limoncello.
Then our tradition, a ceremonial shot of Fausto's limoncello.
Salud. Much love.
For another Sunday supper.
Lots of hard work, and thank you for it. Of course, thank you guys.
I think that's fair enough.
It's another one. Another one.
Now, if you thought that episode was fun and you're hungry for more, you gotta check out the last episode with Anthony Vitolo of Emilio's Bellato, the best Italian restaurant in New York City. And if you want to experience the event for yourself, the next Sunday Supper is Sunday, November 10th, and tickets for that will be on sale down below in the description. I hope to see you there. If not, that's all that I have today. I'll see you next time. Until then, take care of yourself and go feed yourself.